Hello, and welcome back to Crazy for Desserts. Today we will be making star-shaped cookies. To start, take 1 stick of butter or 1/2 cup. You can either melt or leave your butter out to sit. Then, put it in a medium-sized bowl. Take your handheld mixer and mix on medium speed for about 30 seconds. After it's mixed, you're going to add a little bit less than 1/2 cup sugar. Take the mixer again and mix for about 30 seconds on medium speed. After you're done mixing, the texture should be creamy and soft. Then add your 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I mix that again. You will then need to take half of an egg yolk and add that. The recipe that I'm showing you was halved. It yields for about 25 cookies. The original yields for 50. Then mix in the eggs. The texture is really creamy. Make sure that none of the mixture is chunky or clumpy, and if it isn't, add your flour. You are going to need 1 1/8 cup. Then take your mixer and whisk. Don't overmix. The mixture should be crumbly, kind of like fairy dust. Take the crumbly mixture onto a clean surface. I used a cutting board. Scoop the mixture and mold. First, mold the mixture into a ball, and then pat down till it's about 1 inch thick. You are going to need to chill the dough inside the refrigerator, so I put mine on a flat pan. If you have a rolling pin, it will help. If you don't, you can use your hands like I did. After the dough is flattened, you are going to need to put it in the refrigerator for about 15 minutes to chill. Before you put it in the refrigerator, use plastic wrap to cover it. Chilling the dough is essential. It helps to make the dough easier to mold. After 15 minutes, take your dough out of the refrigerator. Put it on a cutting board with some flour. Then, knead your dough till it's about 1/4 inch thick. If you have any cookie cutters, you are going to need them. I used a star. Sprinkle flour on top of the cookie cutter so the dough doesn't stick to it. To shape your cookies, put flour on your cookie cutter. Then, push it into the dough. If you do not have a cookie cutter, you can cut your dough into shapes. Push the cookie cutter in gently. Remove any excess dough. Then, gently push the cookie out and onto your pan. Make your shape as many times as you can, but don't throw away the excess dough because you will use that again. After you use all of the dough to make your cookies, reshape your dough into a circle again and pat down. Repeat the procedure until you have no more dough left. Then into the oven for 10 minutes at 350 degrees. Now onto the glaze. We're going to start by adding 1 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. Then 2 to 4 tablespoons of milk. This recipe also called for light corn syrup, but I didn't want to use any, so just use extra milk like I did. Then 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Also 1/8 teaspoon of almond extract. This is optional. Personally, I felt that the almond extract was too strong in the glaze. If you do not want to make the glaze, the cookies are just fine without it. Remember, this is a glaze, not a frosting, so the texture will be thick. If the glaze is too thick, you need to add some more milk. If it is too thin, add some more powdered sugar. To test this, you can put it on top of the cookie, and if it runs off, it's too liquidy. I added more milk to mine, and this is how the texture should be. Then, put the glaze into a bowl. You don't have to dye your glaze. You could just dip your cookie into the plain white glaze. But if you want to do it like I did, take your food dye and pour droplets of it into the glaze. Gel food dye is ideal, but if you don't have it like I did, the liquid kind will work too. Then, take your toothpick. Swirl your toothpick around in the glaze and mix the food dyes. Do not overmix or the colors will blend. This is really easy. Every cookie will look different. It does not have to be perfect. When your glaze is the desired color you want, put the toothpick down and get ready to dye your cookies. I took my cookies and let them cool for 10 minutes. Now that they're cooled, I'm going to begin to glaze them. Gently pick up your cookies so they do not crack. Then, turn them upside down and dip them into the glaze. You might need to do this 1 or 2 times. Then swirl it around, and there you have it. If this is too hard and the cookies begin to crumble, take a fork, the glaze, and drizzle it on top of the cookies. I put my cookies on top of a drying rack so the glaze would drip off. If you do not have a drying rack, you can use any type of pan. I found that this was easier to do than dipping the cookies in the glaze. And there you have it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.